Let me just be honest. Rule and lesson number one, and I want everybody to take notes. When you know people are doing stuff to you, pay attention to the signs. I don't care if it makes you look crazy, if your family walks away from you, pay attention to the signs. Especially on campus, especially at work. If you're not married, or what have you, it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So I get on my page to say stuff because I feel like a lot of people don't really know what to do. And I feel like somebody needs to have this conversation because everybody else is going to push it under the rug. No, my channel is not just about black people, and that's it. But because I am a black person, I like to talk about things that happen to us because I feel like if we shed some light, things will change. However, I just personally feel like in my life, like I had so many feelings for this field. I thought that this field was going to be good for me. I'm not blaming the job per se. I'm just saying for me, I'm getting burnt out. I'm tired of being held to a standard for patience, and I see people just getting abused, and I just have to sit there and act like everything's fine. I shouldn't have to tell somebody over and over, hey, this is what's happening. Because, of course, when management's here, everybody's going to be on their toes. But you got to be there when they're not there. You know what I mean? And, yes, I've had moments where I've sat down. I've had moments where I was late. I had moments where I would eat right there. But half of the reason why is when you don't really have time for a break, you do what you can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that likes to bring drama. I know that's what, family members have said before. But let me tell you this. When you've been in my shoes and you've had people literally cut you off, like I'll give you an example right now. I'm in the hospital right now. Not for me, thank God. Usually I used to think it was for me, but I did the best I could to keep myself healthy with the grace of God. But I'm just saying, I am tired of people thinking that I lie when stuff really happens. That's the reason why I started this channel, is because I wanted to bring to light that young people go through stuff after the situation that happened. And this is nothing compared to the two, but after the situations that's happened to the youth with the police, I just felt like it's imperative to be a young person and have, have support, have protection. People don't understand the stuff that you go through. Everybody has a right to what they say. However, you don't have a right to mistreat people. You know what I mean? I can be nice all day long, but when I get my family involved, it's because it's something serious. Now, unfortunately, I'm not very close with my mother's side of the family. I'm slowly but surely getting close to my father's side of the family. I really didn't want to because given our history, but because I've talked to therapists and dealt with stuff in my personal life that I don't feel like talking about because I've already shared it before. I share it because I feel like somebody needs to understand what it feels like to not feel like they're alone. People felt like they have been left with nothing, left like they don't want to live. I've lost too many friends from suicide just because nobody got a chance to talk to them. So I do these videos because I don't really care if people don't like me. I just want to bring awareness to stuff because nobody really talks about it in rural states. Of course you have support in the community everywhere else. Or maybe not. I'm not there. But for me, and as for me, I just felt like I wanted myself to be an example because I felt like I've witnessed people saying stuff on TV and in the past. This is not for me to be famous. This is not for me to be, I'm trying to be a star. No, this is for me to be educational. That's it. I do what I do just to talk about real stuff because people need to know what it's like. I don't tell you where I actually live, but at the same time, I want you to know the area that I'm in and things that happen in the area. I feel like a lot of people would be able to be happier if the truth is out. I have people that don't like me because I told the truth. I'm not going to sit here if I have a family member telling me one thing and I'm thinking that they love me, and then I come to find out they've been telling the other family members completely something else. Then I have that right to sit there and ask questions. I have every I have every right to do that. I do this because I'm tired of people thinking that, oh, I'm just not trying to show up for work. So I show where I'm at. So if you don't believe me, you can look it up. You can see it on Facebook and stuff. I also don't like the fact that I have people who used to work with me following me on social media. Y'all never liked me in the first place, but y'all talk about me, y'all make fun of me, and then you want to keep track of me because somebody's telling you to. And then want to sit there and say, oh, Sabrina's losing her mind. No, Sabrina's on it. When people feel like they are afraid of something, when they feel like somebody is about to take something away from them, they get scared. I don't care to take away anything from anybody other than the privilege to mistreat me and my family. I have a right to protect them just like anybody else has a right to protect their family. This has got nothing to do with race right now. This video is strictly about protection. And I'm tired of people doing stuff. The reason why I put those videos is because people would literally follow us from point A to point B. That is not safe for a car to just follow you from Terre Haute to another city. That's not safe. It's not safe for somebody to do stuff like that. It's not safe. This is what happens in cities who feel like they run stuff. I am not here to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I'm not here to make anybody to feel bad. But I'm here to show proof that we as people of color and people period get treated differently because we don't have money, because we don't have certain statuses. And I'm tired of people making fun of us, making jokes about us, putting stuff on TV and making fun of people, and you don't even know the full struggle. Stop making jokes about something that you don't really understand. You're making jokes about big women. It's all fun and games to have hips and breasts until you happen to deal with somebody that won't leave you alone. Let me tell you something. I've been dealing with sexual harassment ever since I was 17 years old. My very first job was a fast food job. I had to tell my manager then I didn't feel comfortable with this person. I told them that. They were too busy. When I finally told them that this guy is really not trying to stop, then they started taking consideration what's going on. I had to tell a coworker it. Now, how come at a fast food joint I can tell somebody and it gets quicker to the manager than I can do in healthcare? But see, it happens in healthcare, so they don't really know how to really talk about it. So I can't sit there and say stuff. I'm not here to make anybody feel bad, but I'm here to spread awareness to the community. It doesn't make any sense to be in this city and people do not have cases for a lawyer for discrimination or anything. There is a large population and a really large population of black people in this city, and it doesn't make any sense why you don't have a discrimination lawyer. I'm not here to sit there and pretend to be anything. I'm just here to be honest. You need to care about the people that's other than just white folks in a city. We matter. We make up just as much as you do. Not probably all, but just as much. I know you don't think of value us, but you need to value us. We matter to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a racist person. I've never been a racist person or prejudiced person. But what I am is I'm tired of people making statements, I just believe that if you want something to change, you talk about it until somebody says something about it. I said stuff and I became the example because I told myself this year, the pain, the stress, the holding everything to the cross towards my family members who did stuff to me when I was a teenager, young girl, I was going to get the victory over it. I talked to God. I prayed to him all through the time that we were fasting. January, if nobody knows, is consecration week, which means that after New Year's Eve and New Year's, the church goes on a fast to get prepared for the new year. And that was my resolution, per se, that I wanted to get over the childhood trauma that has held me up, and not for me to feel ashamed about it. Finally got over it. It took after a couple of years, probably like 24 years, or I should say, of my life. So maybe 1 year I'm finally free. All the other years I was stuck. And I finally got over it, but not for a job to think that I'm going to sit there and tolerate it. I am not going to ever. And I'm not saying, like I said again, I've never said that this person touched me. The person at my job never touched me. But what I'm not going to do, I'm never going to be okay with somebody being inappropriate. Ladies and men, you have that right to tell somebody when somebody is being inappropriate. If you've had to tell them multiple times to stop, you have that right to report it. If they don't listen, you find a way to help them listen. So for me, I'm not going to apologize for my family members getting involved. You don't have a right to sit there and tell me to control my family members. She has every right to go off. My grandmother has every right to go off if she feels like that something is wrong. She has every right to, because my thing about it is you didn't take the opportunity. This is not the first time that I told somebody that something was happening. This might have been your quote unquote time that you thought that I talked to higher ups, but this is not the first time that I said something. And I shouldn't have to keep making reports. I shouldn't have to keep making videos. I shouldn't have to keep doing something like that. I am not going to sit there and tolerate people being disrespectful. I work hard like the next person. I can't help the fact that people don't like me for the color of my skin, but what I can help is the fact that I love what I love. And I don't need people asking me questions, acting weird, listening to my conversations, trying to set me up for stealing, trying to accuse me of doing stuff, trying to set me up with somebody that I've told you guys I didn't like. I keep telling you that this guy is bothering me and you keep ignoring me. So person says I bring a lot of drama to my life. No, I bring justice to my life. I'm not going to sit there and be quiet like her generation. Her generation just sat on stuff, and that's the reason why there's a lot of people on drugs hating their life, because they sat there and did nothing about it. I refuse to sit there and do nothing. So if that means I got to get rid of a job, if that means I got to get rid of something, I am not going to stay. I'm not. I'm grown. I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stay at a job just because everybody else thinks that it's wise. I'm not doing that. Because I can't justify if you're going to sit there and actually handle the situation. I cannot justify that. I can't say whether or not you're going to let this person stay or not. I can't say that. But I will say I can control what I do. And honestly, for me, I'm not going to let nobody be short, but at the same time, my life matters first. And I have to put myself at the totem pole first before anybody else. Those patients get taken care of almost better than how we worship God, to be honest with you. And I'm not about to sit there and put my emotions on the line. I'm not doing that. So if that means I have to walk away from something that I love, I'm going to do that, because I feel like I looked at Celine Biles' situation, or if I said her name right, she's an Olympian, and I guarantee you she's heard about stuff. I guarantee you she's hurt. But what I'm not going to sit there and do, and I've seen people make fun of her statements and laugh at her and say that she's the worst, American to represent America. But my thing about it is you guys want us to represent a country that never supported people of color. You want us to sit there and go through these things, keep our mouth shut, and keep winning gold medals, keep saving lives, keep graduating from school while people are doing stuff to us and we have to keep our mouth shut. There's a reason why Me Too era was created. It wasn't just for white people. It was for everybody. I'm so sorry if you're fooled and you think it's not fair. It's not fair for us to grow up in this country and be told that everybody's equal and let freedom ring, and we have things that happen to us when we get grown. I don't care how many times you ask me how old I am and where I'm going to school. I've had Uber drivers just try to get information just because they're so desperate to try to save their butt. They don't care. So for me, if you feel like you're going to go that far and save my ex job, because it's going to be my ex job, then do what you want to do. But I'm not about to sit here and pretend like that. I've been a CNA for I don't know how long, and it'll probably be my last year of being it, because for me, I will never support somebody who will disrespect me. I will never support somebody who doesn't value what I say. I will never let money and greed in a relationship override my feelings, my spirituality, and my education to make me feel better about myself. That's the difference. People say we play a card It's not a card. Women go through things every day. This is not just about race, this is about everybody. Women go through things every day. Men go through things every day. They should feel comfortable telling somebody stuff. But because you guys do hanky panky and let stuff go away, what are we supposed to do? Just act like nothing happens? I'm not going to let it happen to the next generation, I could tell you that. On another episode of SMS News Channel, I'll be back.